Chrissy for organizing this beautiful program. And though I have missed my opportunity to watch the performances of my students, but I believe that they have done wonderfully. Today we are observing World Book Day and the Shakespeare Day. And I think you all know that the theme for 2024 World Book Day is Read Your Way, right? And this initiative was taken by the UNESCO to promote people to read and publish books, right? The only message that I want to give to you is that do read books. You may find it that you may say that no, books are not very relevant nowadays in the age of social media, and we have so many digital forms of entertainment. But the thing is that yes, you will be watching YouTube, reels and so on, but at the end of the day, they will give you excitement for a very small period of time, but they will drain you of your creativity, because watching those things are like passive activities. They do not stimulate any brain activity, right? So more and more you are into the social media and all, more and more you will feel anxious, the anxiety level, stress level will increase. Try to read books, and I think I do not know whether you read books regularly or not, but try to develop a habit of reading books. Go to the library, and I'm talking not about only the books regarding your subjects. Read any kind of books, fictions, non-fiction, travelogue, anything that you like. And yes, of course, regarding your subject books, apart from the notes, the Xerox or now the PDFs that you get, try to visit the library at least once a day, every day. Look into the books, try to hold the books, smell the books, try to sit down and go through some pages. You will feel much better and you will develop an interest to learn more, right? So this is my message to you all. Hope you are enjoying the program. Thank you to all the students for your patience.
Although it is really very difficult to select any one book, but out of many, one of my most favorite books is The Story of My Life by Helen Keller, who was a remarkable person born in 1880. She was not only just a prolific author, but also an activist and a lecturer. The Story of My Life is very special to me because it teaches us lots of lessons of life. This book is an autobiographical account of the author's journey from the silence and darkness to the world of sound and light. She was not born, Helen Keller was not born deaf and blind, but she was turned into one out of a severe illness that struck her when she was only 19 months old. But Helen Keller, with the help of her teacher Annie Savilian, she proved that everybody can achieve their dreams despite their challenges. This book is also special to me because the way Helen Keller describes her beautiful memories from the time when she was normally able to the time when she turned into a specially able person. She describes how she was naughty when in her childhood. She describes how frustration led to certain activities of her. And finally, the way she enters into the world of acceptance with the help of her teacher and to some extent also her parents. She also is an observant person because she also describes the memories of time when she was just a year old. So it's not just about inspiration, but also she motivates us to directly appreciate the little things that we usually avoid speaking of. There are numerous things in our lives, small, big, that we should be grateful about, but we take them for granted. In her book, she writes, the best and most beautiful things in the world are not seen and not even touched, but they are felt from the heart. So, the story of my life, this book is not only about how to appreciate little things in our lives, but also is a way, in a way she describes how the power of education is vital in our life. She never stopped learning. She was always determined and hardworking. And she always tells us to never give up. So I would, in conclusion, I would urge all you to read this book once in your life. And I believe it inspires me. Similarly, it will inspire you all. Thank you.
This is Madhu from English department. And today I am going to speak about my favorite book. People who read religiously know how difficult it can be to pick out a single book that they like, because our favorite books keep changing every month perhaps. So I have picked out a recent favorite of mine which I really like. The book is called The Traveling Cat Chronicles, written by Hiro Arikawa. Arikawa is a female Japanese author, and her work, The Traveling Cat Chronicles, was initially serialized in a Japanese tabloid, and it was titled as Tameri no Rikoro in the year 2011 to 2012. Later on, it was translated into English by Philip Gabriel, and it was published as a book. The most intriguing part of the story was the style of narration. We are used to reading stories which has third person narrative or first person narrative. Either the narrator is omniscient, that is, he is giving us the details of everything and we are getting to know about the thought process of all the characters. Or the main character is narrating the story and he is propelling the plot of the story using his own ideas. In this case, the narrator of the novel is a stray cat. The stray cat is named Nana by a kind-hearted man named Satoru. Satoru adopts Nana, and Satoru also explains why he has chosen the name Nana. Because the cat has a crooked tail, which looks like the number 7, and 7 in Japanese means Nana. Hence, the cat gets its name, Nana. The journey of their friendship. The journey of their friendship, in the friendship of Nana and Satoru, began with a hint of unsurety, because Nana wasn't easily trusting of the kind-hearted man, though Satoru tried his level best to befriend Nana by living in cat's home. Only when Nana gets into a tragic accident, he seeks out Satoru and their friendship begins. Throughout the novel, a very long road trip is described. The destination of the road trip is kind of unclear, but the readers can feel how Traveling Cat Chronicles is a poignant tale about life, about friendship, loss and gain. It teaches us that things end at one point of time. But it is important that we remember the journey, we cherish the moments that we really like. And we also love the companions with whom we took the journey. It also reminds me of a quote by Dr. Sayers. Don't cry because it has ended. Smile because it happened. And I think that is important to remember because things will always end. But we must go on no matter what. Thank you. And also our next speaker will be Shobhi
departmental student. 23 এপ্রিল ওয়ার্ল্ড বুক ডে ছিল, তো আমাদের কলেজে যেটা 26 এপ্রিল সেলিব্রেট হচ্ছে, তো টপিক ছিল ফেভারিট বুক। ফেভারিট বুক বলতে যেটা আমার প্রথমে মনে হলো আইডেন্টিফাই করতে খুব অসুবিধা হচ্ছিল যে কোনটাকে আমি ফেভারিট বুক বলবো। তখন আমার মনে হলো যেটা থেকে আমার অনেক হেল্প হয়েছে, কারণ আমার হিস্ট্রি তো অনেক সময় পড়তে অসুবিধা হয়, বুঝতে হয়, আর বিশেষ করে ওয়ার্ল্ড হিস্ট্রির ক্ষেত্রে সমস্যা বেশি হয়। তো সেই ক্ষেত্রে আমি ফরাসি ঔপন্যাসিক আলেকজান্ডার ডুমার দ্য ম্যান ইন দ্য আয়রন ম্যাস্ক চয়েস করেছি, কারণ এই উপন্যাসটা পড়ে আমার খুবই ভালো লেগেছিল। যদি এটা আমি অনেকদিন আগে পড়েছিলাম, তো যখন আমি প্রথমে ওয়ার্ল্ড হিস্ট্রি পড়ছিলাম, সপ্তদশ শতক ছিল ওখানে, তো সেটা বোঝার ক্ষেত্রে আমি দ্য ম্যান ইন দ্য আয়রন ম্যাস্ক যে ক্যারেক্টারগুলো ছিল, কার্ডিনাল রিচলু, মেজারিন, অ্যান অফ অস্ট্রিয়া, এদের ঘটনা ছিল। তো ওখান থেকে আমার মনে হলো যে ফরাসি সমাজ ব্যবস্থা অনেকটা জানা গেছে এবং তৎকালীন সমাজের আমাদের সবারই এটা জানা উচিত, শুধু হিস্ট্রি স্টুডেন্ট বলে না, যে আগেকার দিনে সমাজ ব্যবস্থা ছিল কেমন ছিল বা কোন দেশের ক্ষেত্রে সেটা কেমন ছিল। তো সেক্ষেত্রে এই বইটি খুব আমার ভালো লেগেছিল, কারণ এখান থেকে চতুর্দশ লুইয়ের যে পার্টটা সেটা আমরা এখানে উনি ছিলেন সপ্তদশ শতকের ইউরোপের উন্নতির forget that, and was introduced to Mr. Fagan. And Mr. Fagan, who trains orphan boys as pickpocketers, he also trained under him. And one day he goes with the daughter and his other contemporaries to steal a handkerchief from a gentleman named Mr. Brownlow. When he was caught eventually and his other contemporaries as well as fled away, so he was caught and later on his innocency was proved and he was taken by Mr. Brownlow and they took care of him because they knew that he was innocent poor boy who didn't know what is bad, what is good. So they took care of him and later on also discovered his parents' identity and also it was revealed that he had a half brother mom who wanted to steal him from their shared inheritance. When Mr. Brownlow didn't let that happen and proposed an equal distribution between them to allow mom to recover from his past vices and lead an honest life. At last, Mr. Brownlow adopted Oliver as his son. Well, from my experience, Oliver to the boy, his bravery, his innocency, his honesty really astonished me, surprised me, and also inspired me. And though it was a fictional character, but we can learn from it that we should never give up even in the difficulties and we should be brave enough to face them. Thank you very much.
I'm a very avid reader since my childhood, but I don't have a favorite out of all. But currently I have read one book which has stayed with me for a long time and I would be going to talk about it. The book is titled A Little Life, written by Anya Yankelia. She is an American novelist. So the book is revolves around 4 friends residing in the city of New York. The book is individually dealing with individual characters and the characters and them together and how they are connected together as a person or as a group. The main character of this book is Jude, St. Francis. Although in the initial part of the book, the background and insights of 3 of the friends are given, namely William, J.D. and Malcolm, Jude remains a mystery to both readers as well as the characters in the book. As the gradually story proceeds, we get to know that Jude is an orphan, raised in a monastery by monks, and has been ill-treated throughout his life. However, his misery really unfolds when he is 9 years old, when he is manipulated by one of the brothers in a monastery and agreed to run away with him in order to make a move, as he was promised that he will be adopted. Fast forward, by the age of 14, Jude was ill-treated, trafficked, abused both mentally and physically, and even treated lower than an animal would be. He thought that being dead is the best idea for him than being alive. This book deals about these 4 friends and 2 more characters, Andy and Harold, and how they change themselves for Jude, how their perspective are for Jude, and how Jude acts as a center for all of them connecting together. The best part of this book, I felt, is its new title, where author did a wonderful job and she termed it as a little life. I will say so why, because in between the Jude's tragic past, which actually molded throughout his adulthood. He was traumatized, he was scarred for life, he was almost crippled, and he hated himself. Although it was there, and his future, which is nothing less than a bottom of bare despair, I feel like. There was a little time moment where he was alive, even he had challenges, he was at misery, he wanted to be alive. He had a family that he never thought he ever deserved in the first place. He had friends, he had a loving partner, and a job that he really adored. That that moment he termed as little life or happy years, when he was actually trying to live and trying to breathe and trying to come forward, looking forward to the needs of his life. If I come to the moral of this book, it's a grey book. I don't think there is something right or wrong about it. But however, one striking moral that always sticks with me till now is that Jude was, I won't say damaged, but hurt beyond repair. He could have turned evil. He could have turned grey, which we say. But however, he was the optimist of the group. He helped his friends. How his character helped throughout and worked and helped throughout the characters and stayed with them connected to him. He was the light of the group, can say. Even though he hated himself, he thought that he will be someone to whom people will look after, and no one has to face what he had faced in his life. And that we think that even if we are struggling in our life, even if we are hurt, there is no reason of hurting others. We should always feel that we can be someone so that people which are getting hurt, who are in pain, to come to us and we can be a light to someone. Thank you.
Today I am going to talk about my favorite book. I am not someone who loves to read books, first of all, and I am a very book-reading person. I usually do not like to read, but this book that I read recently was in our second semester syllabus. It was Thinking and Debate by Hertz. And the first time I actually completed a book in my life, and I loved it. The story was very simple about friendship, and it was very cute, I would say, because the story starts with a plane flying to Europe, and it crashes down to Himalayas, and then the friend who was the friend of Tintin, the friend of Tintin was there in the plane, and Tintin got to know about his friend that he was in the plane, and the journey of Tintin to rescue his friend from Himalayas. That is the real story of the book, and really the story, the narrative technique and everything is very easy. The language is also very easy to understand. There is no exaggerated version of narration. And what I like is there is no antagonist in the story, and there is no sort of dramatic situation or anything like that. It was very normal and basic story, and I loved it. And
talk to Mr. Shakespeare. So it was a very innovative idea, and I think it must be the idea of the faculties of the Department of English department, as well as obviously the students. So it was really very good. It was a very nice idea, and we have all enjoyed it. You too have enjoyed this drama. And lastly, we had this poster competition, where you have all watched that students have presented the posters and of different topics. They try to explain the significance of books, the significance of the World Book Day. So overall it was a very nice program, and I think it will inspire other students also to think about it, that instead of spending time with mobile phone, if we can study few pages also of the book, whatever kind of book you like, whether it's a novel or whatever from short story or anything. So I think that will be much better for all of us, for our brain, for our eyes, everything. So overall it was a very good program. So we must be thankful to the Central Library as well as the Department of English for organizing such a nice program. We are thankful to our Principal Madam Dr. Ujjwani Mukhopadhyay for our initiative, for our leadership role. We are thankful to the students and faculties of the English department for organizing such a beautiful, for presenting such a beautiful drama. And lastly, we are thankful to the students who have participated in this poster competition. Of course, the faculties have also helped them, so we are thankful to every one of them. And lastly, we are thankful to all the students, participants who are patiently sitting here, who have observed everything, and I hope that if a little bit of this program can inspire you to move from mobile to books, then it will be really helpful. It will be, we must be expecting you that conducting such kind of program is, that is the justification of conducting this program. So, and lastly, we are thankful to all the teaching and non-teaching staff, all the members of the library committee, and all others, all the students of this college for supporting us in conducting this program. Thank you all.